Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. I hope you guys are doing well. I am currently sitting at my desk, which is my normal place. I'm always filming just at my desk because I'm always freaking working. It is currently 9 o'clock in the night. I just finished my office work at about 8:45, and then I wanted to work on a vlog that I had filmed a while ago, but I never got around to uploading the video just because I've been so busy. So that is currently being uploaded. I think it's about a month, probably a little bit more than a month ago. It's just a little bit about my work and how frustrated I've been at work of late, and it's pretty, I guess I'm being very honest in that video. Very stuff that I'm mentioning, I'm going to run it by my husband just to make sure, because I've got my entire family that watches all of my videos, and I don't want them to get worried or feel bad about something that I've mentioned, you know, thoughts that I've shared. So I just really wanted to vent, so that's pretty much what I've done. I am currently sitting in my room. I just feel a lot at peace when I'm in my room, and so I went into the office this morning, I came back home, I took a little bit of a break, and then I was like, you know what, might as well work, got nothing better to do, and it just keeps me occupied. So that's where I'm at. I've got a long day tomorrow. I've got a work event that goes from 11 o'clock in the morning to about 10 at night, but the commute for me is 2 hours from where I live, so it's a bit of a way for me tomorrow. So I am going to be catching public transport, and my husband's going to be dropping me as well. So long day ahead of me tomorrow. Wednesday we've got like a huge division-wide meeting. And then we've got just our own little team gathering, and for all those that have traveled interstate, we'll be leaving just after our division-wide meeting. So huge couple of days ahead of me, and then the following day we've got a huge presentation, not presentation, but it's kind of like an assessment day. So pretty packed. The only time I think I can actually do some real work is Friday, but I wanted to get everything ready for the assessment day on Thursday. So I have been working through the evening just to sort of complete that, and like I said, it's been a rough couple of days, and I just needed some time in my room and just with my stuff and in the peace and quiet. So that's what I'm doing. I'm uploading this video. I don't know if it's actually gonna go live, to be honest, but yeah, I do have an Easter one that I am shortly going to be uploading, so that should be coming up soon. But I hope you guys are doing well. I was sitting at my desk, and I always have my camera here, so I thought I would just film. It's a pretty full house, so I don't actually film in the main house, just because I'm quite conscious and I'm not comfortable doing that. So I tend to do it in private. If it was my husband, it's fine, but it's just not possible at the moment. So that's where we're at. But yeah, that's me today. Exhausted, tired, and yeah, that's it. I'm just kind of rearranging my desk here because depending on where I am, I sort of manipulate, like depending on the plugs and stuff like that, that's where I decide where I want to put my computer and stuff. So the way it is set up is the plug is on my left hand side, and my computer currently is on the right hand side. So I need to move everything across from this side to this side, which is actually better because I'm a right-handed person. So it just makes it easier for me to like take my makeup stuff and everything. So I'm gonna have this side empty for my personal computer. That is all my work stuff, which that desk also needs to be cleaned up and like arranged. But I'll show you guys what it looks like in a little bit. But I thought I would come on here and just have a quick chat, tell you guys what's going on, what's been happening, and yeah. By the way, I did finally pick up this fan, which I'm obsessed with. I really, really like it. And it is rechargeable, thank goodness. This is so handy like in the mornings when I am getting ready, and because if you watch my shorts or my TikToks, I think my TikToks more than my shorts, I'm always late. I do not know how that happens, but I'm always freaking late. So the fan comes in very handy in the mornings when I'm trying to dry my setting spray. This is the tripod that I use for my TikToks and stuff, so it's really like, I've had this for years now, but it's quite handy. It's got a remote as well. It's a selfie stick basically, but it works really well for my TikToks because I usually have like my studio lights and stuff, so it works well for that. So yeah, I am just in the middle of like rearranging everything because I had to move everything around, which means that I have to sort of reorganize, which is fine. I like that every few days, and that's one way for me to keep things clean. I haven't filmed like a makeup video in a while, so I'm itching to sit down and film that, and now with this setup I feel like I'm quite comfortable where I can actually film that. But I thought I would fill you guys in. It's been a while. I actually filmed a vlog and I edited it and everything, and I just didn't feel comfortable putting it up, so I haven't put it up. Sad. But it just had stuff in there which I don't think I want to put out into the public yet, and I'm not sure if I ever will, but it will. I guess I might just keep it as a draft in my folders. It was just for me to vent and just get things off my chest, which I think it solved, like it did what it was meant to do at that point in time. So yeah, I needed that sort of relief at that point. So glad I filmed it anyway, and got everything off my chest. I'm just moving my computer. It's not charged, so I really need to charge it. Ooh. Oh, okay. This is what I mean, like connections just need to. I use a MacBook Pro. I can't remember what year it is, but it's the year that I left Apple. I used to work at Apple. I don't know if you guys know that, but I used to work at Apple. It's always going to have like a really soft corner or a soft spot with me in my heart because a lot of doors opened for me when I was working there. I got my first recruiting gig as an experience there, which, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved, and I knew that this was the path that I wanted to follow. And I'm so glad that despite what I was told actually, I still went for it. I still went with my gut and I applied for it anyway, and I'm super grateful that I did, because like I actually found my calling, like I kid you not. One of the best decisions of my life, to have worked there, to have said yes to Apple. Like, oh, I'm so grateful. Obviously it had its moments, like when I was working there. Obviously it is work at the end of the day, so it's never drama free. So I had my moments there. I've had a few bits and pieces where I was just like, what is actually happening? But you know, that is exactly how you learn, and that is how I learned. And I think one thing that I took away from that was that, yes, absolutely listen to your leaders, but still follow your heart, still follow your gut. If your mind or if your heart is saying something, nobody has the right to sort of challenge you on that. And yeah, you should just go for what you feel and believe is the right thing. So yeah, to give you a little bit of a backstory, basically when I applied for my recruiting gig at Apple, my leader, like they request endorsement from your leaders, right? So the hiring manager went to my leader requesting to get some information about my working style, my work ethics, what kind of an employee I was, like basically a reference check. I think I got a really good I assume I would have gotten a good reference from my leaders at the point in time. But what had happened was one of the leaders called me into the office and asked me why I had applied for it. And she strongly said that she didn't think I was a good fit for it because she knows me and my personality is not something that would enjoy sitting at a desk reading resumes to no end. So I was like, I love interacting with people, right? So I've been in customer service my entire life, and the reason why I have stuck with customer service was because I really enjoyed interacting with people, and this was a different aspect or different side of people that I was seeing, right? So, and I've been a store manager for quite some time, and I really enjoyed recruiting. I really enjoyed conducting interviews and, you know, just meeting different people and understanding what motivates them, etc., etc. So I was like, okay, thank you, but I think I really want to just give it a shot. Doesn't mean that I got it, right? And when I actually spoke to my store leader, because I went to him for endorsement first, and he's like, you know, just make sure your resume stands out because you're going to be competing against thousands of people. So what do you have that they don't have? So make sure, like, if you submit, like, sure, I endorse you, but make sure that your resume stands out. And so that took me, like, that I took a step back, and then I think a lot of time passed, and he came up to me and he's like, so how did you go with the application? And I was like, I never applied. And he goes, why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? It'll be a no, but it's worth a shot, right? So then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna bite my tongue and I'm just gonna apply. So once I applied, then another store lead, like, there's a store leader, and then one step down is a senior manager. So the senior manager is the one who called me up and goes like, I don't think your personality is suitable for this because you're a bubbly personality, like, you know, the stuff that I just told you. So I was like, I want to give it a go anyway. So she still, because I had the endorsement from my store leader, so she couldn't really say much. So she went ahead and gave my reference to them. I got called in for an interview. It was an interview over FaceTime. Did my interview. I think it went really well. They called me back a few days later and offered me the role. And I was like, whoa. So at that point in time, like, the mindset completely changed because she didn't talk to me the whole day, right? She didn't talk to me the whole day. She goes, I think she was really pissed that I went ahead and applied for it anyway, despite her saying no, and the fact that I did well and I got it. Like, she just didn't like it. So anyway, I didn't say anything. I was really excited. I was like, yeah, I got it, because it meant so much to me. So anyway, went for it. As she was leaving that day, as she completed her shift, she calls me. She's like, I know that you've been successful, so congratulations. You know, I'm a little upset that you didn't listen to me, but regardless, very proud of you. Good on you. Go and represent the store and do wonderful, like, do great, blah, blah. Anyway, I was like, really? Like, what? Anyway, like, you know, to me as a leader, because I've been a store manager, right? To me as a leader, I see success stories as my success. Like, if I have been able to help someone progress in their career, I think that's a reflection of my hard work and my capability of, like, training someone to get to that stage. So it's quite like, wow, like, what a mindset. I was so shocked, but at the same time, I don't really care. I was like, you know what? I'm happy I got it. Like, I'm super thrilled. Mind you, it was an experience, so there was no extra pay or anything like that. But I think for me, the experience was key. And, you know, so many doors have opened for me since. So I have been so grateful for the good, the bad, the ugly that happened and came with Apple. Like, I am super beyond grateful, and Apple to me will always have a special place in my heart. If they ever had an opportunity come up, I would take it in a heartbeat. Like, I'm one of those, like, hardcore Apple fans. My dad used to be, and I am too, and I worked for that company. So I anyway, that was just a little story time for you guys. the experiences you have, I feel like, are absolutely something that are meant to build you and define your character, and how you handle those experiences, how you handle certain things actually truly defines who you are as a human being. So everything happens for a reason is what I keep saying. And yeah, while we're talking about work and everything happens for a reason, I'm pretty sure I've uploaded this vlog, but this is where I was going through motions. I've been back and forth with a lot of things. I had a little challenging, okay, so currently I've been with a company since February last year, 2022. Extremely loved what I was doing. The hiring manager at the time when I joined was so fantastic. I, to date, absolutely love her to bits. She left shortly after I passed my probation, I think. So the probation was very short, and I think I joined, and I want to say like 5-6 months later she left. Anyway, I got a new manager. I was quite comfortable in the portfolio that I was working for. I was working with a partner, and I had challenges with the partner, but again, very comfortable with my role, very comfortable with what I was doing. It was extremely great, and I absolutely loved every minute of it because I was working with a fantastic team, great banter, you know, just overall a really good, healthy relationship with my manager as well. And then come December, you know, there was a lot of change and movement going on, especially the recruitment was starting for graduates, which we call early careers. So that recruitment was starting, and he's like, you know, I would really appreciate if you could support that. I was like, yep, that's fine. It's temporary. I'm happy to support as long as my reporting line stays the same. Okay, no dramas. So come January, I was still working on my patch. And a couple of weeks later, he goes like, I really need you to support. I need your hand, like all tools down for your current portfolio. I just need you to jump into early careers and just help them. So I joined early careers, and I kid you not, I had a really challenging, a really tough time. And then and by tough, I mean like it was just very, there was a lot of ambiguity, and I'm really good with dealing with ambiguity, but I like a set structure as well, so I'm okay with not knowing what's happening next. But if I have, like, you know, if I know what I'm doing tomorrow when I log in, that's the kind of work I like to do, right? I like to just jump on and get started, not waste any time. So in the beginning, like, the person that was in charge of early careers had no idea how they wanted to utilize me or my skills or anything like that. So it was a very strugglesome beginning. Anyway, things started getting better. I started getting to know how things work and everything. And you know, the end of year discussions also started happening around that time, like February, March. And then I had my annual review discussion with my manager, and it was one that I've never had before. Like, it was something really different. It was very much just complimenting me, and actually my manager voicing my achievements rather than me having to sell myself and my accomplishments in the past year. And I've been fortunate enough to work on some really amazing projects as well. So when I came out of that conversation, I came out wanting more, because I was like, I didn't get anything constructive from that. Because when he said, so this is what I want you to do for this year, he's like, just continue doing what you're doing. And I was like, but that doesn't give me anything to work on, right? And then he went in to explain like what he meant by continue. And so I came out wanting more. And then he pitched me a role that was still in the pipeline. So it's like a new role, a new position, everything new, which was very early careers focused. And I was quite sure that I did not want to go down the path of early careers. Anyway, he sells me on this role before it even like went into the pipeline for submission and everything like that. And I was like, okay, well, you know, share the job description with me. I'm quite curious. Okay. I think 3 or 4 weeks later, he shares the job description with me. So early access, early dibs to all of that. Okay, no dramas. Wasn't sold on it. I told him, I don't think this is where I want to, like, I don't see myself in this particular place, but I still continue to support early careers. Okay. a few months pass, then a few weeks pass, and then the role goes live. Like, they advertise the role internally. It wasn't internally, it was supposed to be an internal sourced role anyway. And it stayed open for quite some time, and I still didn't apply. And this is like after my manager pestering me for a while, I still didn't apply. And then one fine morning, I walk into, I have this epiphany, right? I'm like, yep, it's great. Look, everything happens for a reason. I was passed on a different role that I really wanted to go into, and one of my colleagues got it, and I was quite upset. And so I spent about 4 or 5 days, I think that was the one that I covered in the vlog, 4 or 5 days just being depressed about it and sulking and stuff like that. So anyway, I had an epiphany, like, just be grateful for what you have. Like, I think you're in a better place, something better is in store for you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I kept telling all of these things to myself just to sort of build a positive mindset. Anyway, and then I had finally come to terms. I finally accepted this. I go into the office that morning. Literally, I kid you not, like, these things, they happen in films. They don't happen in real life. But anyway, I walk into the office that morning, open up my laptop, check my emails, and I have an email from my senior director talking to me about this role and telling me you should apply for it. And this is me, like, just getting really scared. Oh my gosh, like, what if my role is going to be redundant and this is just their way of, like, pushing me out so that I don't lose my job? And, like, a part of me was, like, really glad, and then a part of me was like, what? So many emotions went through my mind, and I was so upset. I'm like, oh my gosh, they really want me out. Like, oh. Anyway, my manager happened to be visiting that time, so, and I had a meeting with him that afternoon. I was like, I need you to tell me, really, what is it that you're seeing in me that I'm not? Like, what am I missing? Like, you need to tell me what is going on. And then he goes like, oh my gosh, Vidhi, like, you're being so silly. Because I told him, I'm like, I feel like you're kicking me out of the team. Like, what is happening? And he goes like, Vidhi, I think you should take it as a compliment that we think you're a good fit for this role. And I was like, I completely lost it. And I still took about a week to think about it. And then spoke to my husband, and I was like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? Let's just apply for it. And so I finally applied for it. And then a week later, I had an interview, and I actually got the job. I actually got the job. They came back to me with an offer, and I was like, no, I'm a recruiter, no. So I pushed back a little bit, and one of my colleagues was looking after the role. So I think I put her in a really awkward position when I asked for more. So then it went to my senior director. Oh, it's so funny, oh gosh. So we went to my senior director to discuss blah, blah, blah. And I finally got the right offer on Friday. And I'm just, when I think back and I look back, and I'm just like, you know, all of that heartache and all of that, like, I knew it was leading to something good. And I'm actually quite comfortable with what I'm doing right now, and the role is quite similar to what I am currently doing, but then there is just a bit more of enhancement and a bit more of structure, and it's more about the program in general rather than anything else. So I think it's a really good role that I reckon I would enjoy, and it's very new, so it's going to be something that I'm gonna have to figure out as I do the role. So I'm really, really excited, and I've just, like, it's moments like this where you sort of reevaluate and you're like, you know what, like, things happen and they happen for a reason. You just have to be patient, and you just have to be accepting. So yeah, it's been a crazy few months, and it's just led to a lot of things. I have started drinking a lot more. Apparently I have a really good tolerance level, which I knew I had back in college, but I don't drink as often, or I didn't used to drink that often. But you know, recruiters are known for coffee and alcohol. So coffee, I'm still okay. I've managed 2 cups. Alcohol, it's a regular thing now. But yeah, that's what it is. There's so many different factors. I've also got my in-laws right now. They've been here since 30th of November. They're here till August. So there's a little bit of a stretch at home. My mom's coming down. She's coming down end of May. So there's so many different things that are happening in the background that has just completely taken me away from filming. but I really enjoy just sitting down and having this sort of vlog sort of a structure where I'm just sort of venting and just speaking my mind and just being open. The previous vlog that I had was a bit more personal, and it was a bit more things that I don't want on the internet just yet, because my entire family on both sides watch my videos, so I don't think I'll end up putting that up. I think that was just something that I needed to get off the chest, but this I feel quite comfortable putting up. So yeah, this has been fantastic. I've been talking for 24 minutes, but I feel so good about just getting things off my chest. So thank you for listening. If you're still here, I appreciate you. I hope you will subscribe, but I completely stopped tidying up my room, so I'm going to continue tidying up this room.